The word of God is alive and powerful. It is sharper than the sharpest two-edged sword. For the word of God is alive and powerful. It is sharper than the sharpest two-edged sword. It's the word of God. 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 Alive, powerful, sharper. It's the word of God. Alive, powerful, sharper. It's the word of God. Hebrews chapter 4 verse 12. Hebrews chapter 4 verse 12. Hebrews chapter 4 verse 12.
Hey boys and girls, so exciting to see you here today. Have you been enjoying our wonderful stories? Do you know there's one character who's in every single one of them? I want you to listen to this story and see if you can work out who it is. This story is called The Garden, the Curtain and the Cross. Okay. A very long time ago, right here in this world, there was a garden. That looks like our world. In the garden, everything was wonderful. The world was full of laughing and playing and smiling and fun. There was nothing bad ever. There was no one sad ever. And the best of all, God was there. Hello, Adam. Hello, Eve. He had made it all. He was in charge of it all, and he loved it all. People could see God and speak to God and just enjoy being with God. Eve, God's here. He wants to walk with us again. How cool is that? Yay! I bet it's going to be even more amazing than yesterday. It was wonderful to live with God, but then one day, oh dear, I wonder what's going to happen. The people did a terrible thing. They decided that they didn't want to do what God said. They decided they wanted a world without God in charge. Oh dear. God calls this sin. Sin spoils things, so sin has no place in God's wonderful garden. God said to the people, "You can't live with me in my garden anymore." And he sent them outside. Oh dear, they don't look happy and wonderful anymore, do they? To show the people they had to stay outside, God put some warrior angels in front of the garden. The angels were like a big "keep out" sign. Now things were sometimes bad and people were sometimes sad, but people still kept sinning because they didn't want God to be in charge. No one could come into God's wonderful place. God said, because of your sin, you can't come in. God wanted people to remember, it is wonderful to live with him, but because of your sin, you can't come in. So he told the people to build a special building called his temple, where he would live. In the middle of the temple was the most wonderful place in the world, the place where God was, with nothing bad and nothing sad. It was very exciting. But then God told people to put a big curtain around this wonderful place. The curtain had pictures of the warrior angels on it. And what did the warrior angels mean, boys and girls? That's right, it was a big "keep out" sign. For hundreds of years, the temple curtain reminded people that God said, it is wonderful to live with him, but because of your sin, you can't come in. Babies became grown-ups and had babies. And those babies became grown-ups and had babies. And those babies became grown-ups and had more babies. Hundreds of summers and winters passed by, and the keep-out curtain stayed in the temple. Oh, that makes me feel so sad, a keep-out curtain. Wait, this is the good part. Then, one day, God the Son came to live in this world as a person. He was called Jesus. Jesus always did what God said. Jesus never sinned, and Jesus visited the temple where the keep-out curtain hung. Jesus knew that things were sometimes bad and sometimes sad. Jesus said that God had sent him to open the way back to God's wonderful place, where there would be nothing bad and no one sad. People still didn't want to let God be in charge, so they decided to put Jesus on a cross to die. Oh dear. It was the most bad thing that had ever happened. It was the most sad day of all time. But Jesus had a plan. He had always planned to die on the cross. What a strange plan. Why would God's Son plan to die? Oh, look at this one. Can you see the cross there? On the cross, Jesus took our sin, all the bad things we do, and all the sad things they cause. Jesus took them from us. And when he did, something amazing, astonishing, astounding happened. What do you think happened, boys and girls? Oh, let's have a look. Ready? The curtain tore. God had ripped the keep out sign. God's wonderful place is open again. Because Jesus died, we can go in. After Jesus died, his friends put him in a tomb. They were very sad. For 2 days, nothing happened. Then the next morning, Jesus' friends went to see his body in the tomb, and it wasn't there. Look, it says, he's not here. A little later on, Jesus' friends were all together, and suddenly Jesus was there, alive. Suddenly, his friends weren't sad. Now they were so happy. God had brought Jesus back to life so that he could live in God's wonderful place forever. And Jesus has sent everyone an invitation to come and live with him there too. He tells us, God says it's wonderful to live with him. Because of your sin, you can't come in. But I died on the cross to take your sin, so all of my friends can come in. We can live with God forever. There will be nothing bad and no one sad. Look, there's God saying, come on in, friends. We will see God and speak to God and enjoy being with God just as he planned. It will be wonderful to live with him, and it's all because of, who do you think? That's right, Jesus. We will say every day, thank you, King Jesus, you're amazing. And you can start saying that today. Wonderful. How good is that story? I'm so grateful for God's wonderful plan of sending Jesus for us so that we could walk with God every day. Did you guess who the person was in each of the stories? I'll let you have a think. And on 3, I want you to give me your answer. 1, 2, 3. That's right, it was Jesus. I hope you enjoyed this story, boys and girls, and I'll see you next time. Bye.